dancers that I know, really good dancers that I know, they're very inviting. You know, the way they move is so infectious that it inspires you to be the best dancer that you can be. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go out and try to intimidate people and letting them know that by doing this they're not great dancers, you're only showing your insecurities. Just go and do you. Let them be themselves. Maybe you are a great dancer, and maybe this person will eventually be as good as a dancer as you. Or maybe they're expressing themselves in a different way. But I think the beauty of hip hop is twofold. One, you can, you're allowed to play that game with people, you know?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. No, I think you didn't. Oh, your hand's tired? I think there's a game in hip hop too. There's a mind game. Because people do this too, like, oh, he might be a really good dancer. Maybe I want to mess him up. Like, yo, you're not on beat, but maybe he really is. He's just playing the game. But for the most part, like I said, it's just people going through a trend because they're learning in workshops. Yo, you got to groove. You got to make sure that you're funky. But nobody had to tell anybody this in the beginnings of hip hop or the funk movement. They were just funky, you know. And for people who get into it just for the trendy sake of getting into it to be cool, maybe, people started telling people to be funky because they were only doing it because of the moves that they wanted to learn, and they weren't really part of the movement. So I think people saying like, yo, you gotta dance is another way of them screaming out like, yo, you gotta be part of the movement. You can't just be doing moves for the sake of being cool. And when you are from it and not just around it, your dance will reflect that. You understand?
Yeah.
So I tell people, I said, when you celebrate together, it's not just the dance. People dance because of everything that they've been through. They don't dance and then, it's never the opposite. It's never the dance first and everything else happens. It's everything in life happens first, and then the dance reflects what you're living. So if you are truly rhythmic, it's gonna show in your dance. If you are like, let's say, a power head, you're gonna dance in that way. Your dancing is not a groove per se. Your dancing is grooving in when you move in power. Even in African dance, there's powerful dancers. There's dances that are just with the hips, and that attracts a character. Not everybody's gonna move the hips like that.
To each his style,
To each his own style, man.
Yeah.
Like the way I move, some people really like it. Some people don't like it. I can't please everybody. But that's the beauty about dance. You know what I mean? Now, you gotta be on beat, right? But African beats especially, they're like polyrhythmic. Poly meaning there's multi-beats happening, So, but the most infectious in hip-hop beats is, but when you go deeper and you start going like 6/8, in that there's so many rhythms. There's the clave, or the upright rhythm people know. But you put all those together and they make an incredible rhythm. So now you have a landscape, or rather a soundscape to play with. And according to how you're feeling in the moment, is how you're gonna move. And that's the most important thing, is to let go. When you let go, you let in. And then you let God. And from there, that's when you move people. Because people, you can react to the music, or you can map out the music. Like, like, here comes the horn, bam! That's different when you're dancing, and all of a sudden, you hear the beginning of the horn, bam! It's like a second delay, but it's still right on. And people know when it's instinctual and when you planned it. When you plan it, you get the, oh, but when it's instinctual, people are like, oh! Because they know
something different, yeah.
There's something different in that moment, and they're in the moment with you. Right? So you can go like this all day, but that's not gonna make me dance. What's gonna make me dance is when the music hits me, the way it's supposed to hit me, not you. And those are the best battles I've seen. Organic battles. An organic moment that is orgasmic to the mind and heart. Because you can't relive that. You can't almost retell it. You have to be there. Like that saying says, if you weren't there, you missed it. And even when you've had those moments and the cameras are there, when you see it on YouTube, it's not the same. People say it all the time, like, yo, it's cool, but yo, seeing it live, completely different. And to the beginning of the interview, that's why I'm saying when there's so many cameras, it takes away from the visceral experience, from the oral tradition. Because when you experience it live and you go to tell a story of what you experienced, people have to look at it in their imagination. It's like, wow. You know, like when people explain the move, yo, he did this move into that move, and I think he did this. And the reason I say I think he did this, because people try to imitate what they think they saw. And what happens is they come up with the move that's, you know, like the move that person did, or they come up with a new move because they're doing what they think they saw, not knowing that already adding to the vocabulary now.
Mm-hmm.
So that experience is really great too, you know. So it's like watching African dance class on on your TV screen, and then from that, people are like, oh, I got a great idea. This burns calories. I'm gonna make Zumba, and then people in Zumba class go to a real African class. Completely different experience.
It's not the same.
Completely different experience, man.
Something else, man.
It's completely something else. So I think people understanding the Afro-diasporic influence around the world of what rhythm really is, when you truly understand that, you stop going like this to people. You stop doing it because you realize, like, what am I doing? This is stupid. Because everybody has a different thing that makes them react. So the song that you like and you're going like this, that person might not like that song. That's the other thing about contest.
Yeah.
Like, you have to dance no matter what. And it might not be your time to want to dance. You might hate that song.
And we don't hear the same sounds.
No, not at all. So, and I was just about to say something too. Damn. We don't hear the same sounds, and also, oh, it's the other thing. We have jams that happen all day long, breaks, 8 hours, right? That's a jam. Well, really, we're in an event atmosphere, but people are faking the funk because they're dancing to every jam like that's their song, and that's not the truth. If 15 songs plays in a matter of, you know, let's say an hour, and you can have 80 people in a room, maybe out of those 80 people, maybe 10 would be like, yo, this is my song. And the other one like, yo, this is my song. And you see them completely open up and they're in the zone. Really, that song is hitting something in their heartstrings that you can't even explain. When I watch contests, everybody is faking like this song is the shit, but it's not really. But they have to summon up something in order for the audience to be engaged, and they have to start to mimic what they feel will make them feel the moment. So people go, yo, dance on beat. It's like, if the music is really dope, nobody's gonna be doing, there's no time to do that. There's no time to do that, man. You
just go off, yeah.
You just go, man. And you know, when you're at a really good jam, nobody's going like this, man. Everybody's like, the cipher is pulsating, everybody's in the moment, eyes are wide open, everybody's sweating. You know, if people want to be condescending, I said condescending, right? If people want to be condescending, that's just part of their human nature. But really, naturally, when the moment is really good, there's no time for any of that, man. You're just feeling good because the music is that good. And I think you know, people need to let go a little bit more and just be aware of who you are in the moment. And when that song comes, let it go, man. Just let loose, and you realize that music is meant to be the medicine of your soul, and you don't have to be so rigid in what you think should be rhythm. Because what's rhythm to you might not be rhythm to somebody else. You might be listening to the drums, somebody else might be listening to the vocals, somebody else might be listening to the horns or the guitar.
Or everything depends on the person.
Depends on the person. So react to the music. Don't act to the music. There's a difference, right? So at things now, I see people acting to the music. And acting and reacting is two different things.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference. And when I see people acting, it's like, when I see people reacting, I'm like, wow, that's fucking incredible to watch that, especially young kids.
You're just hypnotized.
They're just hypnotized, man. Or watching somebody that's hard, and then the music makes them like turn into this different soul. You know, it's amazing to watch the transformation when people react to the music. Like I said, I'll say it again. It's just boring watching people act to the music.